Hello everybody, this is Rich Goldblack here and welcome to the 76th instalment of Underworld Updates, a live stream version of Underworld Updates. So this is both a live stream or part of my live stream series and Underworld Updates at the same time, which is awesome. And today I'm going to be unboxing what I think is the biggest book bundle of Doctor Who books on all of YouTube. Now that's quite a big and bold statement to say, so I'm just going to clear it up a bit. In his Ultimate Showcase, TJ Productions unboxed, I believe it was something crazy like 120 Target novelizations, all in one bundle. The bundle I'm going to be unboxing today only has 82 books in it. However, most of them are like 200 pages long or longer than that. Most of them are like the length of a new series book or above. So in that sense, I am thinking that this is the biggest book bundle on YouTube in that sense. And before we get into this, I am recovering from a cold, or do have a cold at the moment. So if I don't sound the best, or I start playing the nose trumpet at some point, that is why. And just to prove to you guys that I am not going to be faking this, I will be actually showing you the actual listing at the end of this live stream. So yeah, the people that I bought this from shipped it in 2 boxes. As you can see, this is the first one, which is actually slightly broken, as you can see there. And this is the second one here, so it's quite a big bundle, as you can see. So without further ado, let us just begin. This is just ridiculously big. Don't know how best to show this because my address is at the top here, so I don't want to be showing you guys that. But and let me just cut along this little seam at the top here. Right, we're into this thing, which is awesome. Or partially into it, because still got this box to go. My goodness me. This is ridiculous. Fucking hell. Oh wow, they sent me that. Oh right, wait a minute. What I was not expecting in this is that they actually sent me these Doctor Who sort of cards. These were given away with a certain issue of the Doctor Who magazine at one point, and I believe I have a factory sealed version of this upstairs, which is awesome. So I might frame these at one point. So yeah, that's awesome. There's Sylvester McCoy, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Paul McGann, John Pertwee, Colin Baker, and Matt Smith. So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that's very nice. I wasn't expecting that. Nice little bonus. So yeah, but onto the books, and I don't quite know where to begin, to be honest, because there is a lot in here. Yeah, there is a lot in here. I think I'm just going to take it as it comes. So, lifting out the first stack of books in this, we have the quick reads of Made of Steel. So yeah, I already have this Doctor Who book, but I think I actually have a smaller edition of this book and a larger edition of this book. Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but it is by Terrance Dicks, so it's probably going to be great. Quiz book, again, I already have this, but yeah, it's don't really read those. I'm more of a collector of original fiction Doctor Who books. There are very few non-fiction Doctor Who books I would actually get. Silhouette, again, I already have this. This might be my personal favourite out of series 1 of the Peter Capaldi books. In my opinion, The Crawling Terror and The Blood Cell and Silhouette are 3 great Doctor Who books, and they all score an 8 out of 10, and that might be my personal favourite, as I really like the sort of whole magic element to it, as but at the same time, I do really like The Blood Cell, as that is really good. Then we have Inside the TARDIS, The Worlds of Doctor Who. I actually don't have this yet, so this is quite nice to have. I have no idea what this book is about, but it's nice to have it. Came out in 2006, so it looks like a sort of a history on Doctor Who, so that's quite interesting, and will be sort of nice to have in the collection in a way, because I think I don't actually have any sort of books that are like about the history of Doctor Who, so that's nice. Then we have this thing, the Doctor Who Stories Collector's Edition. Now, what these are, what this is released a kind of like, I'm trying to have a think here, like released quite a while ago now. There's these little blue hardback books with like a die cut shape in the middle, and they're like little fact files on the Doctor, the Cult of Skaro, that kind of thing. This collects all of them, plus a never before read adventure Speech Day featuring the Master as his human alter ego, Harold Saxon. So they are like aimed for kids, these books, but at the same time, at the end of them, they had like little short stories in them. And this is a little slipcase omnibus release of it, which is really nice. Got the new series Doctor Who logo in there. And yeah, it's just a collection of all of them into one book, and it does come with this inbuilt fabric bookmark like the Telos Deluxes do. And I actually don't think I own a single Doctor Who book that actually has like a little slipcase to it, so that's quite nice. Yeah, there's that. I will be keeping this, as that is quite an interesting little thing. Then we have Coming of the Terror Files by Michael Moorcock. This is my 3rd copy of the book. I'm not joking. I bought it once on its own at this really good secondhand bookshop called Stax, and then I got it again in a bundle, and then I got it again in this other bundle. So I've got 3 copies of this hardback book now. So yeah, this is up for trade. Yeah, I might review this in the future. This one isn't in the best of condition, but I will still be willing to trade it. Just show this on camera. I don't know how well you can see that, but can you see how there's like a little mark in the book just there where my fingers are? It's like the book has been sort of damaged slightly with, it honestly looks like mold. Maybe it is mold actually, that's fascinating. Yeah, it actually looks like this book is slightly moldy, but I'm assuming that it's just pen, because I don't think books get moldy. But then again, I could be wrong. Then sort of moving on to this next little stack, we have Torchwood, Something in the Water. This is a Torchwood book that I do not own yet, so it's nice to have it. I might sellotape it up, as you can see there, because it's sort of split just there. Yeah, I nearly have a complete collection of the Torchwood books, I think, so that's really nice. And I have reviewed Torchwood Another Life, and that wasn't that good at all. And I was meant to review it, but I never got around to it. But yeah, there is one other Torchwood book in this bundle, so yeah, that's nice to have. Then we have a script book, Doctor Who, the script of the film by Matthew Jacobs. This is obviously a script book of the TV movie from 1996, and obviously sort of published around then. But yeah, it should be interesting to have. It's got some nice sort of colour pictures inside it from the TV movie itself, which is really nice. Really like that picture of Paul McGann right there, very stoic. So yeah, I don't think I'm a massive fan of the TV movie, but it is still nice to have. It's on Time Games. Again, this is like my third copy. I own a smaller version of it and a larger sort of print of it. But yeah, there is that. We'll be trading that off. And then we have the Virgin New Adventure Transit. This is I want to say, a generally hated Doctor Who Virgin New Adventure. It might just be Marmite, actually. A lot of people don't particularly like this Virgin New Adventure and think it's just all right or just crap, really. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, this Virgin New Adventure, I would say, actually. So yeah, it should be an interesting read. It's actually quite a thick book. 263 pages long. So yeah, there's that. Nice for the collection. Then we have the quick reads, Magic of the Angels. Again, I already own this. I read it once before, and yeah, it was all right. Not an amazing Doctor Who book by any means, but it was still just okay, I guess, an all right Doctor Who book. Then we have this little thing, a Doctor Who Fun Facts. I don't really know if I'm going to be keeping this or not. I might keep it just out of the novelty of it, but it's not been written in or anything like that. So, yeah, I might keep it. I don't know. It's got like a little calendar and stuff in it. This is like sort of aimed for little kids, I think. But I might keep this just out of the pure novelty of having it. Yeah, it comes with a little poster, as you can see, with the doctor fighting a Slovene. So yeah, there is that. This is going to be a pain in the ass to fold up, but there we go. So yeah, I might keep this. It hasn't been written in. It's like brand new. There's little stickers and stuff at the back, and none of them have been taken out yet. It's a little dusty, but yeah, it's in really good condition, so I might keep this. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure on that, but I'll probably be keeping it for now. Then we have the Time Travelers Almanac ×2, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, Time Travelers Almanac. Again, I don't really collect non-fiction Doctor Who books that much, and I believe I already have this book, so I will be sort of trading this off, or trading these copies off. So yeah, there is that. Then we have the Encyclopedia. Again, I'll most likely trade this off. I already have it. Quite a good book this is, actually. And then we actually have one that I don't have at all, and that is Doctor Who, the Time Lord Letters. Yeah, and it's got a nice sort of letter on the back from the Doctor. It says, "To whom it may concern, as you have no doubt noticed, I have removed a TARDIS time capsule from this location. I do not intend to return it, as it is a rather old model and was in for repair. I really cannot imagine that anyone will miss it, but assuming someone does and an explanation is required, allow me to educate. In short, I have had enough of monitoring and analysis. I am bored with watching rather than doing, with a whole universe of space and time to explore. All we Time Lords ever do is observe. Well, I don't know about you, but for Susan and myself, it is no longer enough. Should you wish the title returned, you will find somewhere in space and time, but quite frankly, we would rather not be bothered, the Doctor. So that's quite a nice sort of thing. I don't really know anything about this Doctor Who book, but it is nice to have. Yeah. Oh look, Vulnerable Snowman, isn't that great? But yeah, I will be keeping this. I don't have it yet, so there is that. Moving on to the next bundle, or not next bundle, but next sort of part of this massive bundle. In here, we have Doctor Who, the crossword book. Again, I may keep this, I may not. It's a crossword book from 1982. So, yeah, I might keep this out of pure novelty. I am not really 100% sure. Yeah, it has been sort of filled in already. But yeah, I don't really mind. I might just keep it out of sort of novelty. As you can see, it's already been sort of filled in a little. Then we have a book I don't really know about too much, but it really does have quite an awesome cover to it. And that is the Book of the Still. A lot of the books in this bundle will feature 8th Doctor adventure books. And I believe this is sort of mopping up quite a bit of the 8th Doctor books in a way, like the Faction Paradox books and stuff like that. Sort of mopping up sort of arcs and stuff from the 8th Doctor run. So yeah, quite nice to have. And I will be looking into reading the 8th Doctor books in the future, I think. So then we have I don't think this is actually a Doctor Who book at all, realistically, but it is sort of presented as a Doctor Who book, if that makes sense. Peter Davidson's Book of Alien Planets. Yeah, again, this is one I may keep, I may not. It has like short story books in it. Not short story books, but like just short stories centered around aliens, no like actual Doctor Who monsters or anything like that. But yeah, there is that. May keep it, may not. I believe TJ Productions showcased a hardback of it, or another one similar to it. Was it? Did he showcase hardback of Alien Worlds? I'm not sure. Then we have Sick Bullshit, as a lot of people like to put it. Again, this is my second copy of the book. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trading that off as one copy of Sick Buildings enough. Peacemaker. Again, I already have this Doctor Who book. I have it in paperback and hardback. So yeah, I will be trading that one off. Then we have The Many Hands, one of the very few new series books I don't actually own. So I think with this bundle, I may have ended up completing the new series books unintentionally. So yeah, I will be keeping that. I may have it already, I'm not sure, I would have to check. And then we're moving on to this next little bundle of, or sort of part of books. We have Pocket Essentials Doctor Who, a completely unauthorized guide to TV, Mark Campbell. Yeah, this is like one of the older editions of the Mark Campbell episode guide, which I have already showcased before. I already have 2 different editions of this Doctor Who book, but yeah, it's still a fantastic Doctor Who book. It's nice to have more editions of it. Verdicts: a well-structured epic for an all-star cast that sees the shocking death of 2 companions, although Sarah Kingdom hardly counts as Bond. The Daleks are their most manipulative, and an archvillain played to perfection by the flawless Kevin Stoney. The Christmas Day episode is unexpectedly charming, allowing the regulars and the viewers the chance to relax and enjoy the Yuletide festivities. The model work and set designer are also very good throughout. Guess what story that is, guys? Jack. There we go. There is that, and third copy of Devil Goblins from Neptune. Again, same sort of thing. With, I believe, Coming of the Terror Files. I purchased it singly once before, and then I got it again in a bundle, and I've once again gotten it in a bundle, so I will be trading that off. Then we have Escape Velocity. This is another 8th Doctor adventure. I don't know too much about it, but it does have quite a stunning cover to it, and it is nice to have as I'm looking to build and complete the 8th Doctor books sometime down the line. So yeah, there is that. And then we have the paperback edition of The Clockwise Man. I already have the hardback of this. I'm not really interested in keeping this, I don't think. First new series book, that is. Then we have the Monsters Inside. I already have the hardback edition of this, and yeah, we'll be trading this off. It's not meant to be that good of a book anyways, the Monsters Inside, but that's all beside the point. And then we have the paperback edition of The Crawling Terror, another one of the 12th Doctor Series 1 books that were published a few years ago. Fantastic book, that is. I personally really do like The Crawling Terror quite a bit, actually, I would say. Yeah, there is that. There goes some bubble wrap. Then we have in here I can get all of this out. We have another copy of I Am a Dalek. Oh, this is my second edition of it. Yeah, I have actually read this once, and it wasn't that good of a book, in my opinion. Yeah, not that good, but I already have it, so I'm willing to trade it. And I will be capping what I am willing to trade at the end of this video. Then we have Earthworld. This is the 50th anniversary reprint of Earthworld. Also bought from the Works, funny enough, which is actually where I got my copy. A lot of the 50th anniversary reprints ended up in the Works, funny enough, which is interesting. But yeah, there is that. Earthworld, willing to trade this as I already have the 50th anniversary edition already. Then we have a 1970s edition of the Doctor Who and the Daleks novelisation, with a very discoloured spine, all being creepy as well. This is a Doctor Who's first exciting adventure of the Daleks. Ian Chesterton and Barbara Wright travel with the mysterious Doctor and his granddaughter Susan to the planet of Skaro in the space-time machine TARDIS. They strive to save the peace-loving files from the evil intentions of the hideous Daleks. Can they succeed? And what is more important, will they ever see their native Earth? Will they ever again see their native Earth? A Target adventure. So yeah, not in the best condition, but I don't own a 70s edition of this Doctor Who book, so that is nice to have. And it actually has like Target adventure at the top of it there, which I never thought the originals or these editions would. But yeah, it's got some nice sort of illustrations to it, which is obviously from the Frederick Miller original, as that is a reprint of the Frederick Miller original. Anyways, next up we have quite a loved Doctor Who book by another Doctor Who YouTuber called South Park 333 Gaming. No, the book's not called South Park Triple Free Gaming, but this is one of his favourite books, and that is The Crooked World, with this very interesting cartoony cover. So yeah, just looking at all of the details here, and that's obviously meant to be from the Roadrunner cartoons. That is the TARDIS in the back there. And is that the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo at the back there? Right there. That's really interesting. But yeah, The Crooked World is meant to be a fantastic Doctor Who book, and it is by Steve Lyons. So yeah, it should be a fantastic read, and Steve Lyons is a great writer. He wrote The Witch Hunters, which is a fantastic book. He also wrote The Murder Game, which is essential reading if you're a 60s era fan. But yeah, there is that, The Crooked World. And then we have the book which sort of tried to end everything, but sort of ended people's enjoyments for the Eighth Doctor books in a way. We have The Ancestor Cell. This is basically the whole end to the Faction Paradox series in the Eighth Doctor adventures, and wow, that's a lot of chapters. 46 chapters in this thing. That's quite intense, so it should be a nice quick read if it does have so little chapters or so many chapters. This one is a bit stained, this copy, but I'm not too bothered as it's The Ancestor Cell. Not that it's a rare book or anything like that. I think it's quite common, but I am happy to have this nonetheless. There's that, The Ancestor Cell. Then we have another Eighth Doctor adventure, The City of the Dead. So yeah, I already have this one, so I will be willing to trade it, or willing to trade this one. So yeah, there is that. I believe that one might be rare. I'm not 100% sure. Then we have another copy of Magic of the Angels. And then we have Revenge of the Jadoon. Again, I own two different versions of this. One of them is a larger edition like this, and one of them is a smaller edition. So yeah, there is that. Then we have quite a rare Eighth Doctor adventure, Camera Obscura. This is one of the rarer Eighth Doctor adventure books that there is, and this one has a big crease along the cover, as you might be able to see, just going along there. It's like corner from corner to corner almost. But yeah, this is quite a rare Doctor Who book. This is, so I'm happy to have it. It's a bit, it's been like dog-eared a little, or a little earmarked thing people do sometimes. So yeah, there is that, and there's another one over here. So yeah, it's not in the it's not an amazing condition copy of it, but I am happy to have it as it is quite a rare Doctor Who book, and the spine is in pretty much mint condition, which is really nice. So yeah, there is that, Camera Obscura. Lloyd Rose did another Doctor Who book for the Eighth Doctor Adventures. I forget what it's called as of now, but it also had like a flower on the front of it, so these like connected. And anyway, is this like a sequel to that one, and does it feature the same villain or something? Might do, who knows? So yeah, there's that, Camera Obscura. Then we have another Virgin New adventure, The Head Games, once again by Steve Lyons. This isn't Hell the Doctor showed her, it's only a sequel. Yeah, speaking of sequels, this is meant to be a sequel to The Mind Robber and so is another Steve Lyons Virgin New adventure, Conundrum. And both of them are meant to take place within the land of fiction from The Mind Robber. So yeah, that should be an interesting read. I don't have that yet, and I did have the chance of getting it in a secondhand bookshop at one point. This secondhand bookshop has Alien Bodies, Head Games, Conundrum, Nightshade, and All Consuming Fire in it for £4 each. I was trying to be sort of saving for money at the time, so I only got Alien Bodies. which is upstairs, so I won't bother getting it. But yeah, I went back there like a week later to try and get a copy of whatchamacallit, All Consuming Fire. But all of the books were gone by that point. All of those books in that little stack were gone, so I got quite lucky with Alien Bodies there. And then we have this one, the 50th Central Guide. Already have this, will be willing to put it out for trade. There is that. Then we have this thing, which is the Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook, Doctor Who, The Writer's Tale, the Untold series of the BBC series. The Untold story of the BBC series. Did I say the Untold series of the BBC series? I probably did. But yeah, quite an interesting presented Doctor Who book. I do not have this yet, so I will be keeping this. Very nice Doctor Who book, and I will be interested in sort of looking forward to it. Sort of in a picture has sort of been printed with a picture from the making of Midnight, so that's quite nice. So yeah, and I've said this before, but actually, what is this actually? I'm actually not sure what this is. Actually, I think this might be like a script book. I actually have no idea. What is this book even? Unique look. I kind of didn't. So it explores in detail Russell's work on the 4th series of the new series, which should be really good and interesting to read. As Turn Left, the anti-penultimate episode from series 4, is literally one of my favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. So yeah, there is that, and the book without the dust jacket is just the dust jacket pictures sort of printed onto it. But yeah, there is that. I will be interested in looking forward to. I am looking forward to looking into that, because Turn Left is one of my favourite Doctor Who stories of all time. I think it's absolutely fantastic. That's the end of that box. So let me bring this one up. On to the sort of second part of this sort of big bundle now. Yeah, let's just get this open. And there she is. The second box is open. And we've got bubble wrap, and more bubble wrap, and more bubble wrap, and more bubble wrap, and more bubble wrap, and even more bubble wrap. So let us continue. So these next 3 books are the paperbacks edition, or the first one out of this next 3 is the paperback edition of Dark Horizons. I already own the hardback of this, and I may or may not keep the paperback edition of this, but I will most likely put this one up for trade. So yeah, this one absolutely lost my shit. Unboxing the hardback book a little while ago, in the same video that I unboxed that Spiral Scratch, signed Spiral Scratch, I completely lost my shit because it said that the TARDIS was afraid of water or something like that, so that's quite funny. And then we have Eighth Doctor adventure now, Hope. So yeah, another nice addition to the Eighth Doctor sort of run, a run of books or my collection. Nice short Doctor Who book. This one is. It's only 249 pages, so it should be a nice read. Short read, but there is that. I will be keeping that. And then we have a second, my second copy of Unnatural History. I got this book a little while ago in this big bundle of Eighth Doctor books that I unboxed on the channel, which is one of my most popular videos actually. So go check that out. But yeah, we'll be putting this one up for trade as I already have it. But yeah, there is that. And then for the sort of next little stack of books from this book, I've actually just realised there is quite a few rare Eighth Doctor adventures in here, which is really nice. We have Winner Takes All. He talks about Eighth Doctor adventures, then goes into a new series book. But yeah, paperback of Winner Takes All. Yeah, I already own the hardback edition of this book, so I will be putting this one up for trade. And Winner Takes All has one of the most interesting stories behind it. I can't remember exactly what it was in particular, but when I still lived over in Essex before moving over to Northern Ireland, I entered this competition. I can't quite remember what competition it was, but I ended up winning the competition, and the person giving out the prizes gave me a hardback edition of this book, which I still own to this day. She didn't quite know what to get me, but she knew I liked Doctor Who, so she got me the hardback edition of this book. And it's got Winner Takes All in the title as well. So yeah, it's quite an interesting bit of history with me in that book right there. Yeah, there is that. Then we have Eater of Wasps. Yeah, this is quite a graphic Eighth Doctor book, and as a person who is slightly afraid of wasps, I fucking hate this cover. But yeah, it should be an interesting read. Apparently, there's like a guy that's like has like a bomb inside him, and he's called Fat Man, which, in my opinion, is extremely fucked up, because not just because it's a man with a bomb inside him, but Fat Man was the name of one of the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki back in World War II. So that's a bit offensive, in my opinion, right there, or can be offensive to some people right there. Yeah, this is meant to be a really good Eighth Doctor adventure book, but it is meant to be quite graphic at the same time. And then we have another Eighth Doctor adventure, The Burning. Yeah, this is meant to be a fantastic Eighth Doctor adventure. This is part of the Earth arc of the Eighth Doctor adventures, I do believe. And it does take one of the most overused promo shots of all time and transforms it into something nice and new. So yeah, there is that, The Burning. Then we have, I could be incorrect about this, but this one right here might be the rarest Eighth Doctor adventure book there is. I could be wrong about that. But we have History 101 by Max L. Halliday. I think this might be the rarest Eighth Doctor adventure book the BBC put out. I could be wrong about that, but this is quite a rare book. I know that much, and yeah, it is nice to have. But yeah, it's just nice to have for a further growing collection of Eighth Doctor adventure books, and it has got quite long chapters in it. So yeah, it should be an interesting book. But yeah, it looks like it's going to deal with sort of art and stuff, and yeah, that should be quite interesting. And it's got History 101 101 written on the frame right down there. Just there. Just there. Well, I think it's right there. But yeah, there is that. Quite a rare 8th Doctor adventure, that is. That might be the rarest one there is out of the entire range, but I could be wrong about that. Then we have the paperback edition of the Blood Cell. Yeah, again, I've spoken about this this trio of 12th Doctor books already in this video, and this is a fantastic 12th Doctor book. I already own the hardback of it though, so I wouldn't be needing that. Then we have what is meant to be quite a dark Doctor Who book, The Banquo Legacy by Andy Lane and Justin Richards. So you sort of combine what is meant to be a sort of big war or famous war writer from the 8th Doctor, not from the 8th Doctor, but from the Virgin New Adventures, who wrote Cat's Cradle, Time's Crucible, Warhead, and then he went on to write Warlock and that other war novel from the 8th Doctor adventures, from the 7th Doctor Virgin New Adventures, which is quite interesting. So you have him pairing up with Justin Richards, who is normally meant to be a very safe Doctor Who writer with his books, which is quite interesting. So it's almost like teaming up the wild with the passive for one book, with this one, with that sort of writing collab. But yeah, it should be quite an interesting thing to read. And that is really bizarre. I've just noticed this. Is this to do with the book? The font in the book, I don't know how well it's going to pick up, but the font in the book isn't consistent. So there you've got what looks like Times New Romans, and then up here you've got whatever that one is meant to be. But yeah, that's definitely a different font, as you can see. That is really, really bizarre. I don't think I've ever gotten that before in a Doctor Who book. Maybe that's something to do with the sort of book itself. But yeah, there is that. Next up, let me just get all of this out. We have, let's just get this out of the way, Silhouettes paperback. Talked about this already, don't need to talk about it anymore. Then we have the handbook, The Third Doctor. This is like published by Virgin, I believe. There's like a series of small little books like this, sort of guiding the sort of behind the scenes of these doctors, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. And this is the 3rd Doctor one. So this just sort of goes behind the scenes about all of his stories, like how they were made, the sort of what happened, and how good the story actually is. I already own the 4th Doctor one of this, which is upstairs, but there's another copy of it in this bundle somewhere in here. So yeah, that's nice. There is that. We'll be keeping that. Then we have, I reviewed a while ago the novels Players and World Game, and Terrance Dicks in that, for me, I felt in that Terrance Dicks is trying to create this sort of War Games Aftermath trilogy. Well, I can't remember what I quite called it, but I do remember saying that he was like trying to create a continuation from that sort of trilogy. So try and create a trilogy of those books, and with the books Players, World Game, and this one I'm about to show you. I reviewed Players and World Game because they were the only ones I had, and I didn't have the middle components of this trilogy, which is the book I'm about to show you. Players, this one, and World Game all feature the monsters, the players. So yeah, I should be reviewing this one in the future. And not only is it part of the sort of Players arc in a way, it's also part of the Earth arc. I'm of course talking about the Terrance Dicks novel Endgame. So yeah, may read this in the future. I wasn't really satisfied really overall with the players arc from what I have read. That being players and world game. Players gets a 7, world game gets a 5. So it should be interesting to give this one a read, because this one does feature the players, and it is also part of the 8th Doctor Earth arc. So yeah, there is that. Then we have the Universal Data Bank. This is another non-fiction Doctor Who book. I don't really know anything about this because I am more of a collector of original fiction books than non-fiction Doctor Who books, so I don't really know anything about this. The third volume in Gene Marks Loftus's definitive series of Doctor Who reference books, Universal Data Bank, is a complete guide to everyone, everywhere, and everything that has appeared in this series, from the Abbot of Amboise to the Zygons. So there you go. So yeah, nice to have once again. Then we have The Crawling Terror. Again, not going to talk about it because I've already talked about the paperback edition. Then we have The Twilight Streets by Gary Russell, the other Torchwood book from within this bundle. So yeah, this should be quite an interesting read, I think. I think it's meant to be one of the better Torchwood books, but I could be wrong about that. It's quite a thick one, this one, but it is 250 pages long, once again. So yeah, it's by Gary Russell, so I have faith that this will be a good book, and it's got a very nice sort of cover to it, with the Jack playing card having the face of Captain Jack Harkness, which is quite interesting and kind of hilarious. But yeah, there is that. I don't know where to put it. And this is quite an interesting one, this one. This is Doctor Who Time Lord by Ian Marsh and Peter Darvill Evans. This is really weird. I thought this was a 7th Doctor Virgin New Adventure featuring the Cybermen, just published not as a Virgin New Adventure, but published as its own entity. But I don't think it's even that. I think this is like the Decide Your Destiny type of book. So yeah, I really don't know anything about this Doctor Who book. But yeah, it's quite a thick Doctor Who book, and you've even got like characters in it as well. So I really don't know anything about this book. It's a bit of a mystery one, this one, but I will be keeping this because it's nice to have. Moving on to this little part here, we have Touched by an Angel. This is meant to be one of the best new series books, and I will be keeping this and giving it a read. This is just meant to be an absolutely fantastic, as nearly said, Virgin New Adventure there. But yeah, this is meant to be an absolutely fantastic new series book. Looking forward to reading it. Touched by an Angel. Then we have another 8th Doctor adventure, The Turing Test. Yes, there is a lot of 8th Doctor adventure books in this, which is partially why I picked this bundle up. But yeah, this is meant to be a really good Doctor Who book, all about sort of war and stuff like that. Yeah, quite an interesting thing with the cover here. If you look at the letters that are sort of lit up on the typewriter, it spells out Doctor Who. So you've got the D there, so Doctor, you've got the W there, and then you've got the H down there, which is lit up, and then you've got the O up there, which is also lit up. So Doctor Who, which is quite an interesting sort of thing to have. But yeah, there is that. The Turing Test by Paul Leonard. And then we have, once again, another 8th Doctor adventure, The Year of the Intelligent Tigers. This is meant to be like the best 8th Doctor adventure book out of them all. This is just meant to be an absolutely incredible 8th Doctor adventure. And is just extremely praised, and I am looking forward to reading it. And it has a nice sort of map inside it from the place this book is set in. But yeah, there is that Year of the Intelligent Tigers, meant to be absolutely fantastic, this book. So looking forward to reading that. Then we have, let's just continue with the Eighth Doctor adventures, because why not? We're already in a big run of them. We have, if I was just to get this sort of organised a bit, we have Casualties of War by Steve Emerson, which reminds me of the band Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but that's completely besides the point. Yeah, don't know realistically anything about this Doctor Who book, but I think it's meant to be one of the better Eighth Doctor adventures, so there is that. But yeah, there is that. Just nice to have it. Yeah, there is that. Sort of looking forward to reading it once I have got the complete Eighth Doctor collection. Then we have, once again, another Eighth Doctor adventure, Trading Futures by Lance Parkin. As you can, I think this is meant to be a bit more of a James Bond type of novel. As you can tell by the cover itself, it's very sort of James Bond-like. So yeah, Lance Parkin is not one of my favourite Doctor Who authors, to be honest. I read his The Dying Days, and that isn't really good. It's a limboic mess of a Doctor Who book where it's struggling to be a book you can't take seriously with a book that you need to take seriously. It's a weird ass book, that one is. But yeah, Trading Futures by Lance Parkin should be an interesting read, that. Then we have Vanishing Point. This is once again another Eighth Doctor adventure book. So yeah, I don't really know anything about this one. I think this is one of the more disliked Eighth Doctor adventure books, I think. But yeah, it should be an interesting read, this one. Then we have The Slow Empire by Dave Stone. Again, I think this is meant to be one of the more hated Eighth Doctor adventure books. As with most Dave Stone books, he is hated because he's just deemed to be this really mad and psychedelic writer. But yeah, there is that. Yeah, meant to be not that good of a Doctor Who book, but it is nice to have, and it is quite a short one, running at only 251 pages, so there is that. Then we have The Adventuress of Henrietta Street by Lawrence Mayles. Again, this is another one part of the Faction Paradox arc, I do believe, but I could be wrong about that. And this introduces a new companion, I think, but I could be wrong about that. No, I think this slightly messes up what happened to a companion introduced in Interference by the name of Compassion, I believe her name is. But yeah, there is that. Quite an interesting one this is. And this one, just checking here. Yeah, this one has slightly smaller text in it than usual for some reason. So yeah, that's quite interesting, that one is. But yeah, it should be an interesting read, and it's and it's another nice addition for my ever-growing collection of Eighth Doctor adventure books. And no, we're not finished with them. There is actually more within this bundle, believe it or not. Then we have the handbook, the Fourth Doctor. As I said earlier when showing the Third Doctor one, I already have this. But yeah, it's a really good book, and yeah, it's a really good book. I picked this up at the same time as I picked up The Romance of Crime, which still to this day is one of the best books I have ever read, The Romance of Crime. But yeah, there was that. Then we have the Doctor Who quiz book on dinosaurs. How did dinosaurs die? Adric killed them. But there we go. Yeah, I don't really know if I'm going to be keeping this or not. I might keep this out of pure novelty once again, like the Peter Davidson book of Alien Planets. But yeah, there is that. The Doctor Who quiz book on dinosaurs. Then we have we're coming to the end of this bundle now, actually. We have the Silent Stars Go By hardback. Already own this, got it for Christmas quite a while ago. Yeah, there is that. The Sun and Stars Go by Dan Abnett. It's not meant to be that good of a book anyway. Then we have Dark Horizons, which I already have in hardback form, and I showcased the paperback edition of it earlier. So yeah, there is that. And then I think we'll save the rest of those Eighth Doctor books for the end of this video. Oh, I forgot you were in there. So. Yeah, and we're not done with the Eighth Doctor adventure books, believe it or not. I've showcased all of these ones already, but there's actually like 6 more that I still need to showcase in this bundle. So there you go. Then we have just a general stack of fairly random new series adventures. We have the Pirate Loop. I already have this in paperback, so I might be keeping this hardback edition of it. Wishing Well, again, already own the paperback edition of this book, so I most likely will be keeping that hardback. Then we have the hardback of Beautiful Chaos. Again, I might be keeping this as I already have the paperback, but I might have a hardback edition of this already, I don't know. Same story with The Eyeless. I already own the paperback of it, might be keeping this hardback. And then we have Forever Autumn. I already own the hardback of this book, so yeah, that will sort of be up for trade, that one, I think. Then we have Wet World, putting this one up for trade as I already have it. And then we have one of the very few Eighth Doctor books, I've got them on the brain, new series books I don't own. That is the Doctor Trap. I almost picked this up in a charity shop once for 50p, I think, but I passed on that because it had a few pages from the front of it missing. So yeah, there is that. Yeah, moving on to the sort of end section of this massive bundle, primarily consisting of all of these fucking Eighth Doctor books. Oh, look at them all. But yeah, we then have, just looking at this, just want to sort of organise this. Yeah, this is the sort of tail end of the section here. We have once again another Virgin New Adventure, Blood Heat. This is meant to be one of the greatest Seventh Doctor Virgin New Adventures that there is. I will be putting this one up for trade as I really do have a copy of it. So yeah, there is that. It has a nice illustration in it, as you saw there. But yeah, there is that, Blood Heat. Then moving on to the sort of end section of this, we have an original edition of Last of the Gadarene. So yeah, this is meant to be an absolutely fantastic Doctor Who book, and it is meant to be a fantastic Doctor Who book because I read the reprint edition of the book. But yeah, there is that, Last of the Gadarene. Charles Mays. We'll be keeping that. Then we have the duplicate of a Eighth Doctor adventure I already own, and that's Time Zero. This is another quite rare Eighth Doctor adventure book, this one is. So yeah, there is that. Yeah, there's that. Then we have even more Eighth Doctor adventures. Final 4 books for this video. We have Dark Progeny with a very sort of creepy psychedelic cover, which reminds me of Star Trek a little with the Borg, and it's by Steve Emerson again, who also wrote, so I'm going to look here, Casualties of War. So yeah, there's that. So I'll be keeping that for my ever-growing Eighth Doctor collection. Then we have quite a nice cover one, Fear Itself. So yeah, I don't really know too much about this, but it is nice to have. The sort of Nick Wallace part on it is sort of got a bit of miscolouring to it or discolouring to it. But yeah, it's still really nice to have for my ever-growing collection of Eighth Doctor adventure books. And then we have quite an interesting one here. We have Grim Reality. Once again, this is another Eighth Doctor adventure. And this is meant to be like one of the absolute worst Eighth Doctor adventure books out of them all. In a later edition of this book, Mark Campbell, the episode guide, at the back of it, he rated all of the Eighth Doctor adventures, and this is the lowest scoring one out of all of them from his point of view, only getting a 1 out of 10. So yeah, it should be quite interesting, that. And to sort of finally end off all of the sort of books I will be showcasing in this video. This live stream was still going for a little bit, so some more stuff to sort of detail about, like what I'm trading and stuff. But final book that I will be showing in this video is another one of the rarest Eighth Doctor adventures there is, and that is The Infinity Race by Simon Messingham. This, I believe, had a very limited print run, but I could be wrong about that. It's either that this had a really limited print run for some reason, or that they ran into some sort of trouble with it. But yeah, there is that. It's one of the rarest Eighth Doctor adventure books that there is, so I will be keeping that, as I don't have it, unless I don't have it. But yeah, there is that. And just to show you, and as I said at the beginning of this massive live stream, I will be showing you guys the bundle itself, the bundle listing, just to prove to you guys that I'm not hoaxing this. And there it is. That is the bundle I just unboxed. It's 82 times Doctor Who books, hardback and paperback, assorted titles, new and classic, British Heart Foundation, and yeah, this is the bundle I just unboxed for you guys. There's all of the books that I unboxed here today, just proving to you guys that this is a genuine bundle unboxing. I have not faked this or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. And as you can see, I won this at the end of September. So it's taken me. So I won this bundle 1 month and 1 day ago. So yeah, there is that. And now we're just going to be sort of going on to sort of things I will be sort of willing to trade. That's my banshee cry. But yeah, if you're interested in any of the stuff that I will be willing to trade right here, just message me at Ewan Lansdale on Facebook. We have Doctor Who 50 Years, The Essential Guide. Eighth Doctor Adventure, Time Zero. Paperback, Silhouette. Paperback, The Blood Cell. Paperback, Winner Takes All. Eighth Doctor Adventure, Unnatural History. Dark Horizons, paperback. 50th anniversary reprint of Earthworld. And then we have the paperback, The Calling Terror. 2 big hardback books, Sun and Stars Go By and Dark Horizons. We then have the hardback of Sick Building, Peacemaker, and then we have the Third Doctor PDA, The Devil Goblins from Neptune, paperbacks Clockwise Man, Monsters Inside. Then we have the paperbacks of Blood Heat, hardback of Wet World, Forever Autumn, the Fourth Doctor Handbook, hardback of The Calling Terror, Revenge of the Judoon, Magic of the Angels, City of the Dead, I Am a Dalek, and Magic of the Angels once again. And we have Sontaran Games hardback of Coming of the Terraforce, Silhouette, Quiz Book, Made of Steel, Encyclopedia, and 2 copies of the Time Traveller's Almanac. So yeah, that's all of the books out of this bundle I will be willing to trade. So if you're interested in any of these books, message me at Ewan Lansdale on Facebook. As for all of the shenanigans that I am going to be keeping, just to recap, head games, the Quiz Book of Dinosaurs, Pirate Loop hardback, Wishing Well, Beautiful Chaos, The Ibis, 1970s first edition paperback of the Daleks, the Universal Data Bank, Third Doctor Handbook, the Writer's Tale, the untold story of the 4th series of Doctor Who. Right. Oh look, another 8th Doctor adventure. Doctor Who Pocket Essentials complete episode guide Thingamadoodah by Mark Campbell, Last of the Gathering original edition, Doctor Trap hardback, Many Hands hardback, Peter Davidson's Book of Alien Planets paperback, the Crossword book by Nigel Robinson, the Time Lord Letters hardback, this weird fun facts thing that I may not even keep, I'm keeping for now, Transit, the script of the film, save that Torchwood book for the end part. We then have this Doctor Who Stories Fact File Film compilation omnibus book. Then we have the Inside the TARDIS book. See how that's nice. We then have Touched by an Angel, kinky. And then Time Lord, a universe of infinite possibilities. Again, I don't really know anything about that, so I can't really speak greatly on that. Then we have 2 Torchwood books from this video, Something in the Water and the Twilight Streets. And to recap all of the 8th Doctor adventure books that I got in this ridiculous bundle, we have Eater of Wasps. I don't know where to put this. The Burning. History 101. The Taking of Banquo Legacy. Yeah, the Taking of Banquo Legacy. That's what it's called. The Turing Test. Year of the Intelligent Tigers. Casualties of War. Trading Features. Vanishing Point. The Slow Empire. The Adventuress of Henrietta Street. Hope. Hopefully I'll fit it all on the shelves. Haha. Endgame. The Crooked World. The Ancestor Cell. Camera Obscura. Escape Velocity. I only said a Dark Path there. I wish it was a Dark Path. The Dark Progeny. Fear Itself. Grim Reality. The Infinity Race. And the Book of the Still. So like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this massive 82 book bundle unboxing. So like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pitch God Blank dematerializing.